Effects of transactions on accounting equation. Let us see this now. There are 3 steps to proceed to accounting equation. Number 1 is analyze the transaction to ascertain to which variable of accounting equation it affects. Which variable? That means whether it is affecting the asset or a liability or a capital, right? So these things are to be taken care of, and also we need to remember that if any revenue is there, if any income is there, that will increase my capital, and if any expense or loss is there, that will reduce my capital. Second, decide the effect of the transaction on the components, whether my asset will increase or decrease, liability will increase or decrease, or capital will increase or decrease, decide that. And third is to give the effect of those things, right? Finally, record the effect on the accounting equation in monetary terms. So these are the 3 steps we followed. First is analyze, second is decide, and third is record the effect. A very simple process. Rules of accounting equation at a glance, like we have n number of transactions. So let us go through the very common transactions are there, how it is going to affect the accounting equation, whether the cash will increase or decrease, and all those things are there. Let us go through. Number 1 is capital brought in. If it's a capital brought in, cash increases, we know this. Asset increases, on the other side, capital also increases. We have 2 sides, all assets are equal to liabilities and capital. So this equation will hold true after every transaction. Need to understand this very carefully, right? Second is drawings, right? Drawings is the amount has been withdrawn. So my cash balance decreases, whereas my capital also decreases. We already have learned this thing. Like because of the drawings, my capital always reduces. Third is fixed assets. When I just purchase a fixed asset, if I purchase it for cash, my cash balance decreases, also asset increases. But if I purchase an asset on credit, asset to increase over it, but because it's a purchase on credit, my liability will increase. Fourth one is goods purchased. Similar to what we have done for asset purchase, if goods are purchased for cash, my cash balance reduces, and because goods comes in, stock increases. But if the same goods are purchased on credit, तो stock to increase हो गई होगा, but because the goods are purchased on credit, my liability will increase. I'll have to pay to the creditors. Next. Fifth one is payment to creditors. When you talk about payment to creditors, my cash balance reduces, right? And I have made the payment to creditors, my liability towards creditors reduces. Sixth one, very important. So many things are there. Please take care. Sale of goods. Sale of goods, the stock to reduce ho gayi hoga, but let us see the transactions. Number 1, cost of goods 5,000, sold for cash rupees 6,000. Goods of 5,000 sold for 6. The profit 1,000 hai. Stock will reduce by 5. Cash will increase by 6, right? And the net effect, we can see that the capital increases by rupees 1,000 of the profit. Similarly, now second is cost of 5,000 sold to Ram on credit rupees 6,000. The amount of the transaction is same. 5,000 wala 6,000 में sale किया तो 1,000 profit है. That 1,000 profit will increase my capital. There is no doubt about that. But because the goods are sold on credit, the debtor's value will increase by 6,000 and stock reduces by 5,000. You can see the net effect. -5 plus 6 is +1. Right? The accounting equation holds true after each and every transaction. Third case, if there is a loss, the cost of goods of 5,000 has been sold for cash for rupees 4,500. Right? 5,000 wala stock sold for 4,500. So it's a loss. Stock reduces by 5. Cash comes in by 4,500. The net effect of this can be seen as -500. It is a loss. And we all know that losses will reduce my capital. Next, 7th, cash received from debtors. When you receive cash, cash comes in, cash increases, and debtors value will decrease. No effect on the capital or liabilities. 8th is bills receivable drawn on debtors. So this was discussed earlier. Amount of bill receivable will increase and the amount of debtors will decrease. Number 9 is bills payable accepted. Bills payable accepted by creditors. So when I accept a bill payable, The bill payable will increase and creditors will decrease. Number 10, redemption of loan. If I have to redeem the loan, repay the loan, if I have repaid it by cash, my cash balance decreases and the liability towards the loan also decreases. But if the same loan has been redeemed by issue of share capital, तो loan तो reduce होगा ही होगा, there is no doubt about that. Loan is repaid, but because the shares are issued, my capital will increase. This will be there in company accounts, but an example is there, so we need to take care. 11th is purchase return. The goods that I have purchased are returned back to the supplier. Now when I just return it back to the supplier, okay, so my stock reduces and my liability towards the creditor also reduces. Next is expenses. Is very important. थोड़ा और ध्यान से सुनना please. Very simple example is salary paid. When you pay the salary, okay, it's an expense, and the word paid is there. Cash decreases. Now, because salary is an expense, a loss, that will always reduce my capital, right? Second is salary outstanding or salary is unpaid. When you talk about salary outstanding or salary unpaid, so one thing for sure, it is a liability. We need to pay it. Salary is yet to be paid. So my liability towards the employees, right, increases. So my liability increases basically. On the other hand, whatever the amount of salary is there, that is an expense for the current year. And whatever the amount of expense of current year is there, so that will reduce my capital. ये important है. यहाँ बच्चों को problem होता है. Please ध्यान रखना. Salary prepaid is another one. If we have paid in advance, my cash balance reduces. There's no doubt about that because I have paid in advance, so cash flow goes out. But because it is paid in advance, it's an asset. So my salary prepaid as an asset increases. The last one is again important. Okay, it says that salary paid includes prepaid salary. Salary paid includes prepaid salary. Say for example, total amount of salary paid is 5,000. Out of 5,000, we are given the information that 1,000 of the salary paid is of next year. Any amount paid for next year is prepaid. So I have to deduct this and I need to show just 4,000 as an expense for current year. Is this working clear to you? This is next year, this amount will be prepaid. Okay, total salary paid 5,000. Out of that, 1,000 is paid in advance. So remaining 4,000 will be taken as an expense for the current year. Now, how to show this in accounting equation? I have paid 5,000. So 5,000 I'll deduct it from cash balance. 1,000 is paid in advance. It's an asset. So 1,000 prepaid salary will increase, and 4,000 is an expense for me. So that will reduce my capital. So that's why these transactions, salary outstanding or unpaid or prepaid, is always important.
सर इन सैलरी प्रीपेड अगर हमारा कैश रिड्यूस हो रहा है तो हमारा कैपिटल भी तो रिड्यूस होना चाहिए.
हाँ, तो रिड्यूस किया ना. कितना रिड्यूस करेंगे कैपिटल? जितना हमारा इस साल का खर्चा है. मैचिंग कंसेप्ट फॉलो करेंगे ना हम लोग. तो करंट ईयर एक्सपेंसेस जस्ट 4,000, तो 4,000 यहाँ डिडक्ट होगा. 1,000 इज प्रीपेड, 1,000 यहाँ आ गया. और हमने कैश कितना
सेकंड वाला
वेट देयर कैश कितना पे किया? 5,000. तो यहाँ पे ये नेट इफेक्ट क्लियर है? इज दिस क्लियर? Okay, let us come to this salary outstanding, right? ये बात कर रहे हो ना आप?
Salary prepaid, not outstanding. Salary prepaid.
Wait. Okay, we talk about salary prepaid. तो अगर हमने advance pay किया है, advance pay का मतलब, if you remember in matching concept, everywhere we have discussed one example. Salary for the month of April paid in March. याद है?
Yes, sir.
For the month of April paid in March. Tell me in which month you will treat it as an expense? March में या April में? Salary is paid in March for the month of April, so it is an expense of month of April, not the month of March. We have discussed such an example.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, because it is not an expense of the current month or the current year, why will I deduct it from capital? I have paid, so let me deduct it from cash. It is paid in advance, it's an asset. So prepaid salary asset mein aa raha hai. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Next is this income part is again important. We can see that 3 more transactions are there. We just assume that the amount of interest has been received for the first one. You talk about cash received for interest. When you receive cash for interest, we know like cash balance will increase, right? And interest is an income for us. And because of any income or gain, our capital is going to increase. Okay. This was simple, no doubt about this. But the second and the third one is going to be very, very important. This is about interest accrued. Interest accrued is the interest is due but not received. That means this amount is receivable. And any amount which is receivable is an asset. So in asset, I'll have to write over there as accrued interest, and this balance increases, asset increases. And secondly, interest is an income, and because it's an income, my capital will also increase. Next one is interest has been received in advance, pre-received. अगर पहले से हमें कोई income मिल गया तो we need to provide the services to them. So it's a kind of a liability for us. So whenever you talk about income received in advance, you should understand, you should remember, you should recap that. Yes, this is about the liability, increase in liability. And the amount has been received. Because the amount is received, cash comes in, so my cash balance increases, right? Out of the 3, the second and the third one is really going to be important. When we solve the sums, I will again repeat these things. This one is the most important one. I'll give 3 stars to this, right? Outstanding prepaid, pre-received 2 stars, but this is 3 star. You talk about interest on capital. The interesting thing is interest on capital, to whom I am supposed to allow. To whom? To owner. Owner को मुझे capital तो देना ही देना है और साथ में मुझे interest on capital भी देना है. So my liability towards owner increases. So my one effect is to increase the capital. And second effect now. Second is like if I allow interest as a business entity, मैं किसी को interest allow कर रहा हूँ, दे रहा हूँ. The interest will be my expense. And because it's an expense, expenses and losses are to be borne by the owner. So expense will reduce my capital. So you can see over here, expenses reduces the capital, whereas interest on capital will increase the capital. One increases, other reduces, so effect is nullified, neutralized. So there is no effect on capital. But when we'll be solving the numericals, at that time I will be asking you to show the addition and the deduction. Interest on capital, first effect, second effect. Dual aspect concept we follow for every transaction, right? Interest on capital hota kya? Think over it. Owner has given us the capital. As a business entity, we receive the amount from the owner in the form of the capital. अब जो capital हमें मिला है, उस पे interest हमको pay करना पड़ेगा. Pay is a wrong word. We need to allow interest, क्योंकि हम owner को cash में कुछ नहीं देते हैं. Owner का capital हम बढ़ा देते हैं. So we allow interest. When we allow interest, okay, किसको allow करेंगे हम लोग? Owner को. So capital मेरा increase हो जाता है. क्यों? Because my liability towards owner increases. अब think over, as a business entity, जब भी मैं कहीं interest allow कर रहा हूँ या interest pay कर रहा हूँ, if I pay interest, interest is an expense for me, and because it's an expense, so my capital will reduce. The thing is very clear. जो भी expenses हैं, losses हैं, they are to be borne by the owner, and owner के लिए capital will reduce. So these are the 2 possible aspects, the effects on capital. And because one of the aspect increases the capital, other aspect decreases the capital, so the effect on capital is neutralized. Because interest on capital is an expense, it will reduce the capital, whereas interest on capital has to be allowed to the owner itself, so my liability towards owner increases. And because my liability towards owner increases, my capital increases. This is what is the explanation you should remember.
Sir, will it affect the amount of tax that we have to pay?
It will not affect the amount, like we are not going to pay in cash, right? We will be showing in the capital itself, the addition and the deduction. When it comes to financial statements at the end of the year, we need to give the effect. Expenses to be shown in profit and loss account, capital to be shown in balance sheet. The effects are to be given. ऐसा नहीं कि इसको effect नहीं देंगे, but the effect on accounting equation is neutralized. एक ही account पे effect आ रहा है, capital पे ही effect आ रहा है, capital ही increase हो रहा है, capital ही decrease हो रहा है, right? So the effect of the particular transaction is neutralized. No effect on capital. Asset or liability तो
Okay.
effect हो ही नहीं रहा. Okay. Similar to this, the next one is interest on drawings. Same thing. Drawings क्या होता है? The owner withdraws the amount from the business for his personal use. अब हम भी बोलेंगे ना as a business entity, भाई आप अगर capital पे interest मांग रहे हो तो हम लोग drawings पे interest मांगेंगे, right? When we charge interest on drawings from the owner, it's an income, right? Interest on drawings is an income for the business entity. And from whom we are going to charge? किससे charge कर रहे हैं हम लोग? It is being charged from the owner. Okay. अब ये दोनों effect फिर से अच्छे से समझना. Interest on drawings हमारा income है. Income will increase my capital. एक effect हो गया. अब दूसरा effect. We are going to charge interest on capital from the owner. Owner से हमें charge करना. Owner से हमें पैसा लेना है. Right? तो my liability towards owner reduces. मैंने बताया ना कि business and owner आपस में cash का लेन देन नहीं करते हैं apart from capital and drawings. तो उसी के capital में plus, उसी के capital में minus हो जाता है. Now when I'm thinking of charging interest on drawing from the owner, so my liability towards owner reduces, so that will reduce my capital. Okay, so these are the two effects. The same thing has been explained to you over here. One is the income. Because it's an income, it will increase my capital. And because I'm going to charge interest on drawings from owner, my liability towards owner will reduce, right? My liability towards owner will reduce. So this is the effect. Again, one of the effect increases the capital. Second, decreases the capital. So ultimately, there is no change in the amount of the capital. But again, talking about the financial statements and all, effects will be given, right? Moving ahead, depreciation. This is very easy. Depreciation we know is a loss. It's a reduction in the value of the asset. And because the value of the asset reduces, it's a loss. And because it's a loss, so it will reduce my capital. It's a reduction in the value of the fixed asset. The value of the fixed asset also reduces. Next, bad debt. Bad debt, I'm sure like we all remember now. This amount is the amount which becomes irrecoverable from the customers, from the debtors. So जो amount नहीं मिलेगा वो bad debts है. So bad debt is a kind of a loss again. And because it's a loss, it will reduce my capital. Also will reduce the value of the debtors. पहले debtors 10,000 थे, 1,000 नहीं मिलना तो बाकी 9,000 रहेगा. So my value of debtors also decreases. 18th is discount received. अब discount received कैसे होता है? Let us understand with the help of an example over here. A creditor was there. Ram, we have paid 1,900 in full settlement of his claim of rupees 2,000. Okay, we were supposed to pay 2,000 to Ram. Against that, we have paid just 1,900. 100 rupee kam pay kiya na? That 100 rupees, the amount that we have paid less, will be treated as discount received. Okay, I'm sure the transaction is clear to you. Now, point is, we have paid cash. Cash goes out. Cash is an asset. So asset reduces by 1,900. In full settlement, so whatever the amount was due to creditor is settled. After this, no more amount is payable. So my liability towards the creditor Ram reduces by 2,000. And the difference of the 200 rupees is it's a discount received. And because discount received is an income, that will increase my capital. And after this, again, the next transaction is related to discount allowed. In discount allowed, again the same example, received 1,900 from the debtor in full settlement of his claim of 2,000. 2,000 rupees were supposed to collect. Against that, we have collected only 1,900. ऐसा नहीं कि 100 irrecoverable है. No, we have received 1900 in full settlement. तो full settlement मतलब है कि वो insolvent नहीं है, मतलब वो the difference of the amount is to be taken as discount. When we allow a discount, it is going to be a loss, and when it is a loss, we are going to deduct it from the capital. And the amount that we receive 1900 मिलाना हमको, तो cash comes in, and that debtors account is settled. So there is no more amount due from the debtors. So debtors will decrease. These amounts are to be rectified. 20. This is again 3-star wala point. Right? You will need to pay attention. Before I go with the sales return, I just need to give you one example wherein, like, suppose I have purchased goods for some amount, say for example 10,000 rupees, right? And the same goods I have sold for rupees 12,000. Okay, now just think over it. Purchase is 10,000, sale is 12,000, so difference is
2,000
and this difference of 2,000 will be my
profit
and profit will increase my
capital.
Okay, so this purchase of goods, when I purchase, stock increases. When I sell, my stock decreases, and the profit will increase my capital. Okay, ये तो हो गया, पहले हम कर चुके हैं ये. Now from the sold goods out of rupees 12,000, suppose the customer return goods of rupees 2,000. This is a sales return. We need to understand that this amount of sales includes the profit. Always, you can see that purchase 10 है, 2,000 profit है, तो 12 में profit आ गया ना. तो जब sales में profit है, तो sales return में भी तो profit होगा. I want you to calculate how much profit is included over here in sales return. Please let me know. Calculate करो please. 12,000 rupees में 2,000 profit है, तो 2,000 में कितना होगा? या make it 3,000. चलो easy कर देते हैं काम आपका. 3,000 कर दो. कोई तो बोलो.
600.
600 क्या?
600.
500 से 500.
500 आना चाहिए. ठीक है, तो 500 is a profit. You understand the calculation first. Effect बाद में समझेंगे. I'm sure like ये पहले जो मैंने समझाया था वो clear है. Goods purchase of 10,000 sold for 12,000, 2,000 profit will increase my capital. ये सब पहले हो चुका था. Up out of the goods sold to the customer, he returns me the goods of rupees 3,000. That's a sales return, and this sales return will include the profit. How much is the profit? 500. So how much should I increase my stock? Stock will increase by rupees 2,500 because it has to be valued at cost price only. I can't write my stock at selling price because I follow the concept, because I follow the prudence concept, principle of conservatism. ठीक है, so that clearly states that the cost price or the market price, whichever is lower. Now, because 3,000 includes the profit, I cannot increase my stock by rupees 3,000. I cannot show my stock at a profit. It has to be shown at its cost, right? Without profit. So this is what is a calculation. Now, how am I going to show it in the accounting equation? Stock increases by 2,500. Sales return is there. The customers, the debtors, okay, debtors value will reduce by rupees 3,000. Okay, and we can see this profit. जब हम सेल करते हैं तो प्रॉफिट इंक्रीज होता है. अब सेल्स रिटर्न है तो वही प्रॉफिट रिड्यूस भी तो हो रहा है. तो एट द टाइम ऑफ सेल्स रिटर्न देयर इज ऑलवेज अ रिडक्शन इन द प्रॉफिट, एंड बिकॉज देयर इज अ रिडक्शन इन द प्रॉफिट, it will be deducted from the capital. Okay, so 500 is shown by way of reduction in capital. Stock has increased by rupees 2,500 and debtors has decreased by rupees 3,000. So these are the three aspects. In whichever transaction more than one aspect is going to be affected, more than two accounts are going to be affected, those things are always going to be very, very important. मैं रब कर रहा हूँ.
So,
Yes.
so one more time.
One more time again. ठीक है. We take another example. Same thing. I repeat. Suppose it's a purchase. ठीक है. Purchase करके मैंने कुछ amount sale किया and I earned some profit on that. एक और example देंगे तो शायद और चीजें clear हो जाएंगी. Purchase of 300 अगर ये example लेते हैं तो ठीक है. Sold goods for 400. ठीक है. तो this will be giving me a profit of 100 rupees. ये तो clear था पहले भी. Now out of this sale of 400, suppose there is a sales return of say for example 100 rupees. ठीक है. जो कस्टमर को हमने सेल किया था उसमें से customer has returned goods of 100 rupees. Whenever sales return is there in the question, the first thought I should develop is to know the profit in that amount of sales return. Profit कितना है? Yes, I give you a chance again. Please calculate. 400 में 100 profit है, 100 में 25 profit होगा. That's very correct. तो 100 में अगर 25 profit है, the amount of goods that I'm supposed to include in my stock will be 75. ठीक है, क्योंकि purchase is always at its cost and this cost will not include the profit. अब इसका effect मैं कैसे show करूँगा? 75 rupees will increase my stock. 100 rupees जो sales return हुआ है, that will decrease my debtors. And 25 rupees जो profit हमने ढूंढा था sales return में, at the time of sale profit increase होता है, at the time of sales return हमारा profit decrease होता है. So profit reduces, and because the profit reduces, my capital reduces. These are the three aspects. Let us move for the next one now. Interest on loan. Interest on loan, we have taken a loan, we need to pay interest on that. If we pay interest on that, it's an expense for us, and being an expense, my capital reduces. And because the interest on loan is paid, so paid will reduce my cash balance. Next one is paid interest on bank loan along with the installment of the loan. Normally this happens to be whatever the amount of loan is taken, we repay that in installments. So amount of installment is there. The example you can see there. Example is showing 10,000 as installment and interest of 2,000. So what is the total amount paid? Total amount paid can be seen as 12,000. Now I'm dealing with bank. So my bank balance will reduce. The bank balance can be seen by way of reduction, rupees 12,000. I have paid 2,000 as interest. So interest paid is always an expense, and that expense will reduce my capital. Correct? And apart from that, 10,000 is towards the loan amount. My liability towards loan reduces. Because my liability reduces, the bank loan can be seen by way of reduction of rupees 10,000. So I think like that's all for the transactions over here.